Hey, it's Swiften here with another Swiften Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing Origin Leonidas. Here is the figure. I have a lot of thoughts about him. This is obviously his beast mode. He's problematic. He's awesome as visually, not so much as a figure. So I will be diving into why I say that. Let's go. Okay, so let's talk about the look of this figure. Honestly, this is probably one of, if not my #1 favorite looking figure I own. I really love the sort of modern take on Leo Convoy, aka Leo Prime. I think the details here are fantastic. I love like the sort of Gundam-esque look he's got going on. He is armed to the teeth. You have this long sword here. You have the 2 samurai type blades on the side. You have this whip here that honestly, that could kind of function as a whip if you wanted it to. You could even extend it out. There are a couple extra pieces here that you can use to make it even longer. On the back, there are 2 detachable guns. I will show those later. They can also be held by him in either hand. The sword folds up. The coolest part to me about his accessories here is actually the fact that they all attach, but these swords here, which there are 2 of them, so there's 1, and they both store very nicely on either side. Look at these things. These are real metal. Someone breaks into your house, maybe do, little, kill them. So the stand he's on actually comes with the figure as well, which is very convenient. The overall look, so, I'm giving you the designer perspective here. I'm a designer by trade. And again, this has to be one of the best looking figures I own, if not the best looking figure. This is not exactly the same as the original Perfect Effect Leonidas. This is the Origin edition. There are some changes to the helmet. The chest looks a little different. That's all I've seen. I've only owned this one, so that's my only comparison. But yeah, it looks great. It even has, if you open up here, and you kind of got to be pretty gentle with this thing, but I think there is, come on. Aha. You can see in his chest, again, very detailed, very well painted for something that, is honestly going to be seen by maybe a very small portion of the owners of this, but look at that. It has a small matrix in there, looks great. Has kind of like a copper metallic paint to it with a very vibrant green on the inside. Contrasts really well with the red and really brings it together nicely. Let's put this 4K camera to work. It's really amazing. So, someone actually on Discord immediately asked me when I said I was gonna review this figure, he said, how are the hips? So, I have this turntable here, and I set it up to do a nice spin here, and I tried doing it without the stand originally, and gotta say, it could not stand up on its own. It fell over. It is definitely a fragile piece. It's not very sturdy. You move it a little bit, it flops over. This was pre-owned, but it came in good condition, but I gotta say, it is not very stable. If you could find ways to strengthen the joints, I would absolutely recommend doing that. I'm not quite sure how. I tried doing the nail polish technique on last week's figure, and that wasn't great. That didn't really help that much. But he can hold his weapons, which are rather large. He can semi-hold a pose, but you need the stand. You 100% need the stand. One other thing to note is actually when I took him right out of the package, immediately this part of the mane here actually snapped off and I could not get it back on to save my life. the ball joint there actually wound up breaking from. So what I did was I actually put plastic glue right here on this piece. So this is the piece of the main that came off. And the plastic glue left it for 24 hours and we're back in business. It's totally sturdy there. I've lost some flexibility, but it has not affected the transformation or anything else. So again, in regards to the design, let's zoom in here. Look at that head sculpt. It is really, really fantastic. The chest, again, amazing. Pretty much throughout the entire figure here is just a great detail. It is a great look. I am a big fanboy of the Perfect Effect figures, and this is one of the main reasons why. Accessories. Axe. Turns into a sword. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Turns into a sword. Wow. That's a big sword. All right, then you have the tail. Floppy. Also comes with the 2 metal samurai swords. 1. Oh, you hear that clink? That's quality right there. 2. And again, real metal. You got the, I don't know the word for them, but let's say the holsters for the swords, 2 of them. And on the back, you have 2 guns here. They peg in along with the 2, probably the sheaths. There we go. They peg in there, they can come out, they can be held by him. A lot of cool stuff. And of course, the figure itself comes in the box. If it doesn't come in the box, you got ripped off, but hey, it came in my box, so I didn't mean that way. You can see, again, this thing's kind of floppy. It comes also with that stand, and you need it because you can't really move this thing around without it kind of bending over. If anyone has any advice on how to fix that, definitely let me know. Also, out of the box, you get this crossbow. Looks pretty cool. I actually haven't tried it out on him yet, but I'm sure it goes somewhere. Pretty cool. And for the beast mode, to sort of keep the Zoid aesthetic alive for some reason, you have a visor that goes over the lion's eyes. Here he is with Masterpiece Leo Convoy, also a very great figure and a very good direct comparison of the look between the two. I think they're both great, actually. I think this one, is really close to the cartoon, and I think does a really great job with representing that look. And then this is more of a, Gundam-esque sort of version. Here he is with the original Leo Convoy from Beast Wars 2.
Kind of looks like shit.
And here he is with my favorite, my best boy. Masterpiece Optimus Primal. You can do almost a full split. The bend at the leg is almost 45 degrees here. Looks double jointed. This piece kind of gets in the way of a full bend, but really good posability there. The toes, these 2 on the side are individually posable. You can get them into pretty dynamic poses. The arms, you get a full bend here, all the way up. The hands are pretty simple. You got the finger bend here, and that's about it. Not too much on the hand. You get that double sort of bend there. It can look up really well. Look up and to the side. Up and to the other side. A really great flexibility, posability, here on the head. The arms, ball joint, not great. I kind of, again, wish the ball joints were a little better. The bicep rotation here, got that. And of course the hands themselves are on a ball joint as well, and you get that sort of wrist bend here. Nice little baby ab crunch. Look at that wiggle. Look at that wiggle. Again, this would all be great if he held together a little better, but it's cool to have. Okay, now to transform this thing. Careful with that. That's how I broke it initially. Really thin ball joint here.
What the hell is this?
Broke again.
Okay, so the trick is to get these pieces in the back lined up together and then fold it in. And if your piece is not broken, you can peg it into here. Whoa, whoa, come on, come on. Without breaking this time, please. This is an annoying transformation. Extremely annoying. Stand by for technical difficulties. Get in there! Get in! Get in there! I'm doing something wrong. Something fell off. Don't transform it. Don't do it. Just go in there. Just get in there. Please. I found the trick. Just unpeg it accidentally and boom. It's sort of in. Just kill me. You see here Leonidas in his cat form. Okay, and now it's just a matter of putting his accessories back on very carefully. Fold up the tail portion inside of this butt piece. So flimsy. God damn. Well, okay. Let's pretend that that store's in there somewhere. So, you know, this is the beast mode. It is a lion. I broke it during the transformation again. This is the same break that I had mentioned earlier. So, you know, be really, really careful. Yep. It is pretty delicate. So it looks great. I mean, you know, it's really nice looking design. Again, that is like my thing with this figure, is it just looks fantastic. But the problem is it is so flimsy. It's so flimsy, and you have to treat it like it is the most delicate little flower in the world. And that is not something I am too keen on with my figures. I like them to be, you know, pretty sturdy. I like them to hold up. I don't want them to break. I want my son to be able to play with them at some point. You know, I'm not the kind of father who wants to just like be like, hey, these are on the shelves, don't touch them. But this is not one of the ones he's gonna play with. This is gonna stay on the display base, and that's about it. Yep. Okay, yeah, so this one is kind of a real shame for me because I have very mixed feelings on him. I think he looks so good. You know, it's a really, really great looking figure, but I've seen what Perfect Effect can do. I have their Nemesis Guerrera, I have their, you know, Transmetal 2 Megatron equivalent, Mega Dragon, and I know that they can make a really, really sturdy figure. This is not it. This is not even their first attempt at this figure. This is Origin Leonidas. This is like, they've made the original Leonidas, which is not Origin Leonidas, but they made that one. They made the Xerxes version, like the black version. They had so many chances to really polish this up. I was talking to someone on the Discord just today who mentioned that this figure, like he asked me, he goes, are the ball joints still floppy? Yeah, they are. It's not great, especially for what you pay for them. It's really hard to find. And, you know, for what you're paying, it should be a very sturdy figure. One thing I'd like to do on this channel is sort of say, display it or play it. Like display, play it, or both, right? This is display only. It comes with the display base and you need to use it because there is no way that you're playing with this. You can't give it to your kid. You can put it on a shelf, make it look really cool. It's got awesome accessories, but yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm 7 years old and I want to play with them all the time, but it should hold up, and it doesn't. It's very, very floppy. On the flip side, from a designer, like the designer perspective, It's got to be one of the best looking figures I own, if not the best looking figure. I've said that before. It looks great. It's awesome. It's a very sleek take on, you know, like the classic Optimus Prime look. If you had a beast mode, you know, Leo Convoy, if he was sort of, you know, I say this a lot on this channel, like Zoid-esque, right? It's great looking, but that's all it is. Transformation, it requires a lot of delicacy, and it shouldn't. On paper, it's a very straightforward transformation. I mean, the limbs are extremely straightforward. You basically just, you know, flip this section up here, bend the legs, you know, very common sort of like cat transformation. But the head and the like butt piece that it would be, the equivalent to the butt piece on Leo Convoy, getting these two to combine is surprisingly tricky. You know, if you were to follow maybe like a better reviewer who does a more thorough transformation, maybe you'd have less problems than I did. But even if, again, for the cost, you shouldn't have to worry to the degree that I did, and you shouldn't have to break it. I broke this thing immediately out of the box. I have pretty much never broken a Transformer, you know, since I was a kid. And this one I've now broken twice, and I've, for the most part, handled it, get in there, pretty delicately. So yeah, display only. If you like how it looks, put it up on the shelf. So that's been Swiften's take on Origin Leonidas. See you. Oh, and next week, Nemesis Guerrera. Check it out.